This is Dwayne, and I wanted to show you a new feature. Some of you know that we're making some changes on the skills to associate the scales and the comping and the sight reading much more with the songs. So with that in mind, the first step is getting the scales matched up with songs. So if you go down to the scales skill category right now, and you'll see level 3. There are 12 scales, and they match up with each of the songs in the level 3 song. So starting with Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, and When the Saints Go Marching In, all the way through Octopus's Garden. And most of these are in the key of D, but the Britches is in the key of A. And let me just show you a couple things about this. So you click on the Go button here. And the recordings, the band part is the band part that goes with the song. So if a student wanted to, they could actually play along the melody of, like in this case, Swing Low. And but in this case, the scale is played with the band. And in addition to the scale, we've got the arpeggio right here. And it repeats, all of this repeats. So here is the scale part, here is the arpeggio part, and then it goes back to the scale. And it uses exactly the same recording that we have with the band part from the songs. Now, as the songs get going and we begin to kind of step them up a little bit, and because we're working with the D scale a lot, it gives us an opportunity to do things like all of a sudden we're using quarter notes. And you'll notice here I'm using the key. I'm not using a key signature, or actually I'm just using this key of C as the key signature until we get to here. And that, the whole purpose of that is to show students, okay, when you see the accidentals, you understand, okay, that's an F sharp, that's a C sharp, and then when they get down here, they're going to go, well, what happened to the accidentals? You go, oh, it's more convenient just to show them right here. So that is the whole idea. And all of these will start in the key of C, apparently, and then we just move to where we're in the key of, in this case, D. And we're using now a little bit more advanced notation. And then let me see a couple other things. We have a waltz. So when we go into the waltz, we're beginning to use things like slurs. And here you can kind of help them understand, oh, okay, so we got 3 rest symbols, and that makes sense. And then, well, what's that? Why do we have that? And you can say, oh, well, that's an easier way of, instead of just putting out 3 of these, we can just put this little symbol there, indicates, in fact, that we have a measure. And in each of these, you have the violin part and a band or guitar part. And it goes, in this case, it goes fairly long because it's the entire length of the recording and of the song band parts as well. So I encourage you to do your help kids understand the nature of the band parts and how these scales work alongside the songs. So if they can get these scales, they can also, it's using all the same notes in the song, and it helps them to have a place where they can work on, say, technique, and then you don't have to think about it or talk about it during the song when they're trying to figure out the intervals more. But the scales themselves will not be too difficult, and then you can say, well, because these scales are not hard, let's just go ahead and focus on, say, holding your left hand or your bow hand really well. So anyway, that's the level 3 scales. We'll be rolling out more levels in the coming days and weeks. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me an email or a text or a phone call. Bye-bye.